first contact with the English language was when I was studying the kindergarten at a private school, and after that I was really keen learning the English language, so that's why I took an English course. And also because at the university I really need to know the English language, and that's one of the reasons why the English language has a huge impact in my life. And despite of not having the exposure because of the country where I live, I always try to listen to music, watching movies and series, and reading documentaries in the English language.
My first contact with the English language was when I was at high school, but to be honest, I didn't take it so seriously until I started university. I really like English language as I think that it's kind of complex, but at the same time it's easier to understand, and also I think that knowing English is part of a successful person. The role of English nowadays in my life is really enormous for two reasons. The first one is because I needed to dominate it in order to achieve my future goals, and also because I love learning foreign languages.
Well, as we know, all the historical events that allow the development of the English language has a really impact and are very important. Nevertheless, one of the main events that got our attention was the Battle of Hastings on October 14, 1066, that allowed the Norman conquest, which, as we know, is considered to mark the beginning of the Middle English. And at that moment, the English language has suffered a lot of influences and change that enrich the English language.
First of all, I think that all the accents are unique as they had been evolved to different stages in order to achieve their specific pronunciation.
Okay, but what is your favorite accent?
My favorite accent is the British accent, best known as the received pronunciation.
Good! Now, what is the most difficult accent for you to understand?
Oh, to my mind, it is the Scotland accent or maybe the Jamaican accent.
Well, first of all, the English language arrived to Australia more than 200 years ago, and since that moment, it has been adapted to give Australians a specific language. And it is important to mention that Australia was colonized by the British, meaning that the dominant language very quickly became English. And nowadays, the major language spoken in the Australian continent is the English language.
Okay, now we are going to compare some word variations in lexicon, so we are going to follow this pattern. First, I'm going to say the British word and then compare it with even Asian, Australian or African English lexicon. So the first word is trainers, British word. Runners, Australian word. The second word is lorry, British word. Truck, Australian word. The third word is traffic lights, British word. Rabat, South African word. The fourth word is sausage, British word, and vash, South African word. And finally, vest, British word, and singlet, Asian word.
As an English teacher, I will encourage my students by teaching in a funny way, avoiding that they get bored, and by including activities that taking into account my students' level. For example, for those which are kinesthetic, audio or visual, I will use specific activities and using different methods, not only the same ones. Furthermore, it is essential to prepare the class, to define inspired activities, and to anticipate the problems.
We'll be open, you'll be